Hello Wargamers, it's me Callum from Tabletop Banter. I am once again in my home now and now doing a 1000 for 100 list for the Necrons. This was actually quite difficult, it took me a while again. So I'll run you through what you need to buy first and then we can crack on with the list. So you will need to buy the battle box, which has 20 warriors, 3 scarabs. Yep. I think it's 3 scarabs. It might be 5. Well, it comes with some scarabs anyway. I think it's 5 scarabs. And then 5 immortals or death marks. So in this list, I've modeled them as death marks. And you also get a ghost arc / doomsday arc, which I've modeled as a doomsday arc for points reasons. Really, there's nothing else to it. You'll also need to buy an Overlord model, and as well as that, a monolith. Now, I have not made this the strongest Necron list. Obviously, a lot of people don't like playing against Necrons, especially in the Decurion detachment, but there's no way you can do that for 1000 points, so don't worry about it. And a lot of people don't like it because they just have that stupid Feel No Pain, which is stronger than Feel No Pain, because if it's an instant death weapon, they still get a 6+ Feel No Pain. So, I mean, sure, that's token, but it could say something. So, this is probably not the strongest Necron list, but is it usable? Definitely. I mean, if I put 1000 points of what I have against it, I probably wouldn't like it. It's definitely not weak, that's for sure. Alright, so I will get started then. It's 995 points, so it's 5 points shy of 1000, but it doesn't make a difference on your Necrons. 5 points isn't going to hurt anyone. So here we have the Overlord for a start. He is 175 points. I've given him the 2-up save and a 4+ invulnerable. He has a lot of upgrades. Mind Shackle Scarabs. So when in a challenge, a model with the Mind Shackle Scarabs has the Fear special rule. Fear tests are taken as a result of Mind Shackle Scarabs must be done on a 3d6. He also has a Phase Shifter. So this is the 4+ invulnerable save. He has a Phylactery, which gives him It Will Not Die. And the Nightmare Shroud, which is the 2+ armor save, and gives him Fear. Also, once per game, during any friendly shooting phase, the bearer can choose one enemy within 18 inches, and that unit must immediately take a morale check. Units, however, with the Fearless and They Shall Know No Fear special rule, automatically pass this test. I've also given him the Gauntlet of Fire, which is a template weapon, strength 4, AP 5, and the Hyperphase Sword, strength user, AP 3. So he's just going to be, well, he's an HQ choice. He's pretty strong at everything. He's pretty survivable, and he's going to probably get into combat and cause a few problems. Yeah, there's not much else to it, I don't think. Moving on to elites. We have here the death marks. They're 90 points. The reason I chose death marks over immortals was because of more points, because I needed to keep filling the points up. I found it quite difficult because the models are not that cheap money-wise, but they're definitely too cheap points-wise. So it's really difficult to get that many models in here, excuse me, for a low cost. So I went with the death marks. They have a 3-up save, and they have a rapid fire sniper weapon, which is pretty good. Obviously, so that's strength X because it's a sniper weapon, and AP 5. There's nothing more to it. I mean, with the Necrons, there's not a lot of customizing, which is something I don't like myself. I like that you can make your own army. The only thing you really get to customize is an Overlord, and you don't get that many options. So, moving on to troop choices. Nothing fancy here, just 2 10-man blobs of warriors. There's actually, that's it, that's all they have. No, there's just 2 of them. So, standard Necron, leadership 10, reanimation on a 5+, all that. And the Gauss weapons, so always wounding and glancing on 6s, which is pretty good. Then we have 5 scarabs. They can move a lot, they can capture objectives. They don't do much else for me. I mean, you can get them into combat and sure they can kill stuff, but that's not where you're taking them. You're taking them because, well, A, they're fearless, which is kind of cool, and B, they can move 12, ignore terrain because they're beasts, and claim objectives. Onto our heavy support now. Doomsday Arc, which is basically the Ghost Arc with a giant cannon in the middle instead of room for people. Now, obviously, it has quantum shielding, so front and side armors count as 13 if it's not been penetrated, but standard is 11 all the way around. 4 hull points. It's an open top skimmer, so it can jink if you wanted to. And then for the Doomsday Cannon, you can change. You have 3 different settings here. You have 2, sorry. You have the high power and the low power. High power is range 72 inches, strength 10, AP1, primary weapon, large blast, and has a special rule. Has a special rule that says divert power. So vehicle can only fire this weapon if it remains stationary, which you'd want it to do because then it's kind of ridiculously good. That's a large blast. If it moves, it has the low power shot, which is range 24, strength 8, AP3, small blast. But it also has the flare arrays, which is the guns on the side. So salvo 510, Gauss, independent targeting, so the 2 sides can shoot separately. And that's just basically basically just a Gauss weapon on the side of a giant cannon. And finally, we have the Monolith. Now, I know that this has taken quite a hit lately. People don't take it anymore. It's too many points. It doesn't do what it needs to do. But I think they look cool. And for the money, they take up a lot of points. So I was like, hey, let's include a Monolith. They're kind of iconic as well. Iconic of Necrons. They have the Eternity Gate, obviously, which I think means you can just move the... Oh yeah, at the start of each friendly turn, you may choose one friendly unit with the Necrons faction rule, consisting entirely of models with either infantry or jump infantry. That is in reserves, ongoing reserves, or is on the table, not locked in combat. If the chosen unit is in reserves or ongoing reserves, it automatically arrives this turn. If the unit is currently on the battlefield, it has to be removed from the table and then placed as described above. Any models that cannot be placed are removed as casualties, but the unit is otherwise treated as exactly as if it were disembarking from a transport vehicle. Yeah, so just has to. So you can pick up a unit of Necron warriors that are on one edge of the table, and out the front of the Monolith they go. It's a heavy skimmer, so it can only move 6 inches, which is a bit of a shame. Otherwise, you can get the Necron warriors out there rapid fire range really quickly. And it has to be done in the movement phase. Or at the start of the movement phase. That's the big one. So you can't move the Monolith, then do the Necrons. Yeah, so I don't know. I just think it's kind of handy to have that ability to move Necrons around the board a little bit quicker. I mean, obviously in the fluff they're iconically slow. However, in the game they move as quickly as a Space Marine, so go figure. It has the Living Metal special rule as well, which I think... Oh yeah, ignores crew shaken. On the roll of a 6, you regain a hull point as well at the end of your turn. So that's kind of handy, I suppose. It's sort of like a worse version of It Will Not Die. Oh, let's see. That's everything. Oh, it has the Particle Whip, which is the 24-inch Strength 8 AP3 large blast ordnance weapon. So you can target individual characters bunched up in the middle of a group, which is quite good. I quite like that. I mean, there's not much else to this list. It's basically just if you would have filled this and I were to go against it, I would be annoyed at how little I would make a difference in terms of, like, you can put in so many shots to the Necrons and they just seem to survive because they have their really frustrating reanimation. So obviously you get that on the Warriors under the death marks, and that's about it. And the Overlord. I don't think there's much else to it, really. I mean, it's quite... I would say it's fairly strong. I wouldn't say it's an optimized list, but I would say if I was against it, it would not be easy to beat. And yeah, there you have it. 995 points of Necrons for less than £100, which is quite good in my opinion. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment below if you have any ideas for the list, bearing in mind that it is trying to minimize cost whilst maximizing the amount of fun you can get out of the game. But if you're a Necron player and you have some advice for those building a Necron list, then yeah, put that in as well. That'd be great. Always love to hear from you. It is those who subscribe and comment and like, etc., that make me want to keep making videos and try and improve the videos. Although that's going to take a little while until I get some money together for things like a microphone, etc. So just bear with me on that. And yeah, I think that's everything. So it's been me, Callum, from Tabletop Banter. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, have fun.